Welcome to episode 3 of the Sensible Living Podcast and Blog. I am Michael McGregor. Glad that you're tuning in yet again, and here we are in the mobile studio, cruising along in my old neighborhood during my teen years. So enough of that. So today's episode, let's talk about bug out bags, or at least a component of it, and one that is it's often overlooked, and that is your hygiene kit. For some reason, everyone remembers to throw in their axes, their knives, their fire kits. Their axes, their knives, their fire kits. But sleeping, something to sleep under, something to sleep on, something to sleep in. We remember that. We remember our food. But we forget hygiene. Hygiene is extremely important, especially in a shit hits the fan scenario, a shift scenario. Cleanliness. I'm not even going to go there. Cleanliness is godliness. I went there. But cleanliness, having your hands clean, a simple cut on a hand that is dirty, filled with germs, or whatever you've been dealing with, could lead into an infection. And in a shift scenario, that infection could actually lead to death. Your antibiotics and stuff might be running low. We don't know what type of situation. So you want to make sure you have a hygiene kit. Also, part of that hygiene kit, let me turn that off. Part of that hygiene kit is it should be specific to the individual, namely females. Females, you're still having your menses. You want to make sure you have pads and tampons in your hygiene kit. That is part of your routine and should be something that you pay attention to. Excuse me while I go around this corner. There we go. So you want to have hand sanitizer. You want to have soaps. You want to have, maybe Q-tips, mirror. Mirror is used for first aid as well. Dual purpose right there. Chapstick. You want to have multiple levels of this. And dental. I don't know about you, but I really don't want to go to Civil War dentist in a EMP type scenario. And my belief on when the EMP is going to hit is I'm pretty sure we'll be hit with a Martian attack from Pluto long before an EMP. I don't buy into the EMP thing. That's just not my concern. There's a lot of other shift scenarios that I would be more concerned about than the EMP, but I digress. So, tooth care. You want to make sure you're brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth, all that good stuff. You want to have toothpaste, toothbrush, dental floss, toothpicks. I don't know about you, but I really don't want some old Doc Bones, yanking out my tooth with a pair of pliers, a chainsaw, and a chisel, and a hammer, and Keep your teeth clean. You want to keep your hands clean, face clean. Hey, some deodorant. Goes a long way. Not only for the cleanliness and to, keep you good from diseases and stuff like that, but here's another thing. In a shift hits the fan scenario, you know what? Something about morale, something about being clean really improves one's morale. So that's something that you want to take into consideration as well. If you're walking around and you haven't showered in a year, hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're not walking around for a year. That depression sets in. But you know what? That comfort of being clean, being able to wash, being able to scrub, brings a sense of comfort. That's something very important in a shift scenario. So in your bug out bag. Also, here's another thing. Everyone's like, I gotta have the bug out bag for this, bug out bag for that. What do you do for your bug out bag? Well, here's the thing. My bug out bag is the same bag I bring camping. So maybe someone in the family isn't so keen on, oh my God, why are you packing for the zombie apocalypse? Why do you think the end of the world's coming? Oh, we have food delivery. Oh, we'll have the government. We'll have FEMA. And they're just, you're just being a crazy doomsday prepper. Well, you know what? It's my camping gear. This is just in case. We go up in the truck. What if the truck breaks down on a road trip, or the car breaks down? Hey, I got something that I can put on my back and hike. And that, will lead into another episode here coming up. We're going to talk about actually dressing according to the weather. I live in Colorado here, and we get spring storms all the time. And, here's something interesting. That, you may start the morning at 50 degrees, and within 4 hours, it may drop down to 20 degrees, and you're looking at a blizzard coming in, dropping, an inch every hour, a half an inch, 2 inches of snow every hour. And you're wearing flip-flops and shorts, or you're wearing a skirt and pumps. Let me tell you, son, you ain't dressed for the weather. Something happens to that car where it slides off the road and you got to walk somewhere, you're going to have frostbite. You're not going to be, so start paying attention. This goes for your kids too. You got to start saying, hey, dress for the weather. I know you seem like it's warm, but I see kids all the time. It's 30 degrees out and they're wearing tank tops and shorts because, I don't know, they think it's cool. I think it's kind of being an idiot. I'm sorry, but, my vehicle, okay, it's 50 degrees. Guess what? It might get down to 30 tonight. I still got a weather-appropriate jacket in my vehicle. It doesn't mean you have to walk around wearing it, but your vehicle should have weather-appropriate clothing that you can get to. Ladies, you're driving around in a car, you're wearing pumps for work, you should have a pair of hiking shoes or running shoes, hiking boots. Colorado, I say preferably have both in your vehicle with socks. You should have a pair of, a change of clothes, so that if you need to walk somewhere or do something, you are dressed appropriately for that. Don't always count on someone, showing up. Do not outsource your safety is basically what I'm getting at. It is up to you as an adult, as a parent, as a citizen, to make sure that you are taking care of you and your own. No one is coming. You got to remember that. Okay, you got to take care of yourself. I'm not saying be the lone wolf, because we'll get into that on another episode as well. Lone wolf will get you killed in a survival situation. It really will. You're going to start looking at building communities, spreading that community concept. You pool resources, pool knowledge. That's how you'll get through a shift scenario. However, your own personal shift scenario, just remember, no one's coming. It's up to you to take care of yourself first and foremost. Okay? That's important. So back to the hygiene. You want to make sure that it's, it's easy to get to. You want something to keep your hands clean. Deodorant, chapstick, eye drops, extra contacts, extra glasses if you have to do vision stuff. These are kind of things that you want to pay attention to. Wet wipes, toilet paper. We had a nice little conversation about toilet paper not too long ago. It was great. You got, gallons of water saved up. You got all these food supplies, canned goods. You got that. Oh, look, you've got MREs. You haven't stockpiled any toilet paper. I'm sorry. To me, toilet paper is a comfort. That's a comfort I don't want to give up on. That's an important comfort. You ever try to wipe your butt with a piece of paper or a dollar bill? Yeah. I'm thinking it ain't too fun. You're going to kind of like those nice little wet wipes, or that nice soft little Charmin. Stockpile some toilet paper. That'll be worth more than gold to some people in the future. If there's a total collapse, toilet paper is going to be gold. Just remember that. Well, how much toilet paper should I stock up? Well, how much do you use in 1 week? Average it out. How much are you going to need for 3 months? There you go. How much are you going to need for a year? There you go. Don't buy 10. You don't have to buy 10 years worth. Well, maybe you want to. It is toilet paper. That is a convenience. And if it's gold, the more the better. So just keep that in mind. While building your resources, you want to store you want to have your toilet paper. So that's part of hygiene. Tampons, maxi pads, toilet papers, wet wipes, soaps, eye drops, eye glasses, contacts. I don't know. I think, having a good like an earwax removal thing is kind of good too, because I know some people that, man, after a while they get that wax buildup and they start going deaf. And man, wouldn't it be nice to be able to aerate that a little bit and get that wax buildup without having to go to a doctor? Plus that goes to to me, that goes to why aren't you cleaning your ears in the first place? But yeah, hey, wax builds up. It's something different, you know. I've never had to worry about that really. So I've never had to deal with that. Shampoos, you know, I don't know, you know, maybe you're able to, nice warm summer day and you're out camping, you got a nice little stream or whatever, and a little biodegradable shampoo that's good, that's okay for the environment, that's safe. Dunk your hair, you can wash your hair, you know. Scissors, razors for trimming your beard. You know, I'm not one to always use shaving cream, so I can dry shave. It's never really bothered me. A little hand, you know, a little soap, and you know. Then again, I don't grow a really super thick beard either. I mean, this is about the best I ever get. I mean, yeah, I can grow this out pretty long if I wanted to, but up here, nah, I don't really grow much. It just take me forever, so I just don't bother. But having razors, you know. Some people, you know, I personally, I can't stand the mustache. I just can't stand it. It drives me nuts. I prefer, you know, this kind of trimmed out and just the goatee. That's my personal preference, you know. But you want to have that, you know, the cleaning, the razors, and all that stuff added to your kit. And some of you might be saying, oh, hey, but Mike, you should have this as well. That's fine. You know, hey, let me know. You know, you can add comments to this. Let me know what you think you should add to your hygiene kit. And also, if you have any questions, if you want to add any comments or anything, please go ahead to the podcast. I might even do eventually, if I get questions and stuff, I may do be able to do a Q&A show where I'm answering your questions about, you know, what do I think about this? And, you know, by no means am I an absolute expert know-it-all, but I'm just sharing with you my knowledge and skills of things, and I have access, you know, to people that know a lot of different things. But you know, we all have to start somewhere, and you know, that's the whole reason of Sensible Living Podcast and blog, is to bring these things to light and hopefully get you set up with your gear and, you know, thinking about, you know, hey, being prepared for the apocalypse or not, you know. But you know, one thing I'll tell you, you know, don't focus on just, you know, preparing for the apocalypse that may never come. You know, it's basically be prepared for when it comes, or if it doesn't, it doesn't hurt to have extra food. You know, let's say you go through and you build up a year's worth of extra food supplies and, you know, nothing really happens, no weather, but your neighbor breaks his leg, loses his job, and, you know, it's like, you know, you could actually set up a nice little goodie box, a little Rubbermaid tote for your neighbor and saying, hey, I know you're going to be out of work for some time. Here's 2 weeks worth of food. You don't have to spend any money on food, so you can keep your family afloat. You know, this is being a good neighbor. This is being, you know, kind of taking care of your fellow brother. You know, where they don't have to rely on that government help, because it's going to take them 2-3 months to get that help. You could go over there tomorrow. You can go over there today and hand them a tote. 2 weeks worth of food. What's it cost you? 2 weeks worth of your supply? You know what? Maybe that neighbor might actually remember that one day. And my old saying is, you don't ever do anything to expect a reward. You do it just because you want to do it, period. You're not doing it for a better reward at the end or whatever your belief structure is. You just do it for doing it. You want to help your fellow brother. You want to help your fellow sister. You know, that's, you know, a whole part of this is just how to help, how to bring back that community, and bring back that community without having that, you know, big brother of the government looking over your shoulder going, what are you doing? Oh, no, you can't help that way. You know, no, sensible living, we're trying to bring back the concept of grandma and grandpa, the depression, taking care of one another without the government stepping in and getting involved. Because if you ever want to fix a problem, don't ask the government. They'll just make more. That's plain and simple. You know, I love my Constitution. I love my freedom. I love my capitalism. But you know what? I don't need the government in every aspect of my life. I believe in liberty, period. I believe in the freedom to do what I want to do as long as it does not affect the liberty or freedoms of other people, period. That's my standpoint. But with that, we are rolling up on 15 minutes, and I'm going to keep these shows about 15 minutes for now. And we're in the, as I said, we're in the mobile studio, and we're going to bring this to a close. But don't forget, in your bug out bag, in your emergency kits, have some hygiene. You want to stay clean, because cleanliness is godliness. Just kidding. But whatever your faith may be and whatever all that, be cool, be good to one another. You take care. Till the next show, I'm out.